What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog doing a Yankee post game tonight. I don't usually do Yankee post games right after the game. It's midnight, so hopefully people watch us. I don't know. Um, Yankees lose again tonight, 4-3. Blow another game. Clay Holmes blows another game. It's become the norm for Clay Holmes to come in and blow games. The Yankees in their last 22 games are 9-13. I'm sorry, 9-14. They were 61-23. They are now 70-37. They were 9-14 in their last 23 games. This all started in Boston, I believe on July 9th, when Donaldson kicked a double play ball, would have ended the game. The Yankees ended up blowing it. Clay Holmes then blows a game to the Reds, where he led 3-0 going into the top of the ninth, blew that game, lost 2 out of 3 to a really bad Cincinnati team. There's no way else to say it. And that has certainly become the normalcy here for the Yankees over the last month. Another horrible game tonight, a piss poor effort. 12 men left on base. I believe it was 12 men, maybe 11. Too many is what it was. Gleyber Torres, horrible. Twice he had a guy with man on third, less than 2 outs, didn't get him in. Did get one in on a ground ball right back to the pitcher. If Pallante fields the ball, Torres doesn't get an RBI, doesn't get the run in again. Got that guy hitting cleanup, and he can't drive in a run to save his life. The Yankees really have no heroes on this team. Aaron Judge has certainly been fantastic. And Aaron Judge can't do this all by himself. But the Yankees have reverted back to what they've done the last few years, and that is home run or nothing ball. The inability to string hits together, the inability to get a runner home from third less than 2 outs, making outs on the base paths, and shoddy relief pitching. Clay Holmes has been extremely wild over the last month or so. And the walk to Tyler O'Neill, and then you give up a 2-run double with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th to Paul DeJong, who is hitting 135. That type of thing is inexcusable. I streamed the game, and I want to say about the third inning, even though the Yankees are leading 2-1, I mentioned that this feels like a loss. It felt like the loss against Baltimore, where the Yankees felt like they should have had 7 or 8 runs, and they couldn't get any runs. They just left men on base, left the village on the base paths, and the Royals eventually came back and won, and that happened again tonight. Cardinals only had 5 hits. The Yankees had twice as many hits, but the Cardinals drove the runners in when they got on base, and the Yankees were unable to do so. I'm not going to lie, I'm getting frustrated now at this point. I know you can't win every game, and I know they still have a massive 10.5 game lead in this division, but what I am seeing from this team is a lot of choking. I'm seeing a lot of chokers. I'm seeing guys where the noose is starting to tighten a little bit, and you can see them cracking under the pressure. Clay Holmes is cracking under the pressure. It is pretty obvious the situation is getting too big for these guys. They're starting to lose. People are starting to notice that there's definitely cracks in the pavement with this team. They know the Yankees are beatable. They know they're vulnerable. And when you're looking for a guy to step up and kind of end this or get the big hit or something to get them out of it, nobody's been able to do it outside of Aaron Judge. Nobody. And not to mention at the beginning of the year when the Yankees were playing good baseball, they were getting good breaks. That type of thing happens. Now that they're playing lousy baseball, they're getting some pretty bad breaks. Matt Carpenter's ball, when he hit it, looked like it was ticketed for the seats. Instead, it falls just short, and Nootbaar made the catch at the wall. Donaldson hits a rocket into the gap. Nootbaar makes an amazing catch. Nolan Arenado, who scored the tying run in the 8th inning, hit a swinging bunt down the third base line. And I know that's not Clay Holmes' fault. That's bad luck, but you can't walk Tyler O'Neill. Like, that type of thing is bad. It's bad baseball. And the Yankees can mash their way. They can hit tons of home runs against the Kansas City Royals, who are not a good team. And they can beat up bad teams with bad pitching and look really good. But the fact of the matter is, when you start to play teams like the Mariners and the Cardinals and the Rays and teams that are in that playoff hunt, good teams, you can't continuously make mistake after mistake after mistake. You can't not play fundamental baseball. I thought Aaron Boone tonight, I felt like he took Cortez out a little bit too early. Cortez did not have great stuff. He walked 4 guys in 5 1/3, but I felt like he took him out a little bit too early. Abreu came in. He was terrible. He gave up a run in the 6th inning. And then, of course, Clay Holmes came in the 8th. Boone wanted to go for the W. It was the toughest part of the lineup. You had Goldschmidt, Arenado. Gorman was hitting for Pujols, but you had Goldschmidt and Arenado back-to-back to start the inning. And once again, Clay Holmes cracked under the pressure and blew another game. He was really great at the beginning of the year, but as I said, you start to lose games, it starts to mount, you start to think about it, you put some pressure on yourself, and all of a sudden you can't perform. That is where regular season and postseason we're not even in the postseason yet, but this is where you can tell the difference between guys that know how to win and guys that just don't. Is there really any guy in the Yankees that has won anything? Benintendi may have been I think he was a part of the Red Sox championship. I think he won a championship with the Red Sox. Benintendi, I'm not worried about. I think he's just getting acclimated to the Yankees, maybe putting a little bit too much pressure on himself. It happens when you come to New York. There's an adjustment period. But, you get the guys like Aaron Hicks. He's useless. Obviously, they're missing Anthony Rizzo. If there's a leader on this team, it's probably Anthony Rizzo. And I'm not talking about like a guy that can hit. Aaron Judge can obviously hit. He's probably, a leader. But when I'm thinking of a leader, I'm thinking of a guy like Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo knows what it is to win. He won a championship with the Cubs. He's a leader. He's a good guy. They're missing him. They're definitely missing Giancarlo Stanton's bat at this point. You got to play Aaron Hicks every day. That's obviously 3 outs every night. And Yankees have a lot of soul searching to do. There's no question about it. But it has become frustrating that you can feel them losing games every night. You can sense that they're going to lose. Where at the beginning of the year, when the Yankees have a night like this, they'd be behind early on, or they would get behind 4-3 going into the 9th. I always felt like they were going to get a W, but early on, I could feel this one slipping away, and that's exactly what happened. They lose 4-3, and this team has to figure it the hell out. I'm not panicking. They still have 55 games left to play, but if this team doesn't figure it out, if they don't stop choking, and if they already are putting this much pressure on themselves and choking under the pressure, because that's what they're doing right now. If they can't handle a little bit of a hiccup and losing here in the beginning of August, what the hell are they going to do when the games mean your season in October? If you think the pressure is high now, what do you think it's going to be like if you end up winning this division, you end up winning 102 games? Everybody's going to expect you to win. The Dodgers have completely run away from the Yankees as far as the best record of baseball goes, and the Astros are right behind them for the best record in the American League. Now, I said a couple of weeks ago, after the Astros swept the doubleheader, I'm scared of the Astros. And there is no question about it. The Astros are a really good team. They still worry me more than any other team. They really do. But at this point, any playoff team will worry me about the Yankees. Because I don't think the Yankees, with the way they're playing right now, actually, no, with the way they're playing right now, they wouldn't get out of the first round of the playoffs. They wouldn't. They would lose to any play. They would lose to Seattle right now. They would lose to Tampa Bay right now. They would lose to Toronto right now. The way they're playing, they would lose to all of those teams. That would make the postseason. They wouldn't even be getting to play the Astros in the ALCS. So they got to figure it out. They got to start winning some games. They got to get back to what they were doing in the beginning of the year. We're just playing fundamental baseball, hitting sacrifice flies, being able to get runners over, get them on, get them over, get them in. They got to make better pitches down the stretch. They got to stop walking people out of the bullpen. Way too many walks out of this bullpen. And the problem is, at the beginning of the year, you trusted Clay Holmes. You thought the game was over when Clay came in. Now, it's a big question mark. He's just as bad as Aroldis Chapman. You can't trust Clay Holmes. It's pretty obvious that pressure is getting to him. So what the Yankees do, the back end of their bullpen at this point is a major question. But they got to fix it because this is starting to become a downward spiral. Like I said, they've lost 14 out of the last 23 games. Luckily for them, they got off to such an amazing start that they still have that big cushion. But if they continue to go through these stretches where they lose 6 out of their next 7, I mean, they leave St. Louis, they go to Seattle. I mean, they could easily lose a series here in St. Louis, lose a series in Seattle. Toronto could get hot. Now, the Yankees got a break because Minnesota walked Toronto off tonight, but Toronto could be 6 games out. 5 games out very soon. And then if Toronto or Tampa Bay creeps close to the Yanks with September to play, then you're really going to see some pressure. Then they might gag away the whole division. It's not be a good look. This team hasn't won anything in 13 years. They got off to a great start. They have choked in the playoffs for years under Aaron Boone. And now it looks like they're starting to choke it away a little bit early this season. Anyway, hopefully they can get it together. Thank you for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and ring the bell. Yankee fans, let me know what you think in the comments section. Is this team going to hold on? They're going to get it together? Can they win a World Series? Are they going to fall apart and get knocked out in the first round? Or are they going to end up choking the entire division away? Let me know what you think in the comments section. As always, thank you for watching. It's Bad Diggy Dizzle, and I'm out. Peace.